Hazard. Today, I want to talk about books or some specific books you should keep in your library. Why? But yeah, a lot of people will ask that question. Why? Because electronics, I can store millions of books on my smartphone or some hard disk or something. Yeah, that's a good way to store information. Yes, you can upload it to the cloud. Yes, but sometimes the electricity will fall out. There's a blackout. Sometimes uh, information gets censored. So like governments or certain political parties or groups trying to censor certain information. That way you can lose information as well. Um, Other dangers are like EMPs or the hacking thing that will cause problems for the internet and such. So there are situations where information is very will not be available, or sometimes you just need a quick glance, go through some pages. So that's just my little rant about uh, books instead of hard disks. So books. Today I will talk about 10 books I find very useful and important to put in a prepper's library. So without further ado, here are the first book. The essayist survival handbook. Well, this is one of my first books I really read about survival, and the guy, John Lofty Weisman, he really knows his stuff. I think he was in the army, he, where he got his knowledge or something. But this book, it's full of how to survive when you're out on all continents, where to find water, where to find food, what plants, how to build shelter, how to make tools from your surroundings. It's very handy. I learned a lot, and it's one of the best books to keep in your prepper's library. Can go wrong with this one. Next, the Bug Out Bag from Creek Stewart. This guy is like a real hardcore survivalist. He knows his stuff. This is about how, how he builds his bug out bags and a lot of other ways. It's not only about one particle, it's about certain situations. What can you use? What are the pros? What are the cons? It's it has a lot of pictures so you can visualize how to do it or give you any more ideas. So I would recommend this book when you're building a bug out bag. Gives a lot of ideas. Number 3. Yet again, Creek Stewart, the bug out vehicle. Well, I found this book very interesting because it goes over a lot of vehicles, like cars, jeep, trucks, bicycles, carts, even animals, boats, planes. How to build a good bug out vehicle. Yet again, a lot of pictures to visualize, pros, cons, just all sort of ideas to where you can pick up and build a bug out vehicle. 4. This is a book about wild edible plants. Um, I find this very useful because when the situations are hard, you can go around your neighborhood, find out which plants you can eat, what herbs are good for what, so which are poisonous, also very handy. Um, yeah, I learned some things when I can pick something up, when something is good. What is it? What does it exactly do? Yes, so I recommend such book in your library. The Sun Tzu, The Art of War. This is not really Prepper's important book, but it's very important enough for conflict, to so to say. This book is a philosophical work about how to wage war. And war, it can be used. The techniques in this book can be used in a lot of places: political, economic, like managers, the military, just personal conflicts with some persons. So I really would recommend this book. If you apply this Sun Tzu's teachings, you learn a lot, you get wiser, and if you know yourself and you know the enemy, you will win every battle, like he said in the book. Very wise, very enlightening. Next, Dick James Drawbridge. This is about two guys who built their own self-sufficient farm, which is off-grid. You can learn a lot of it: how to grow food, how to grow herbs, how to take care of animals, how to prepare them, how you can store food, make pantries, find food around your local surroundings, how to make your own energy, how to make your own tools, just to live off grid. Actually, it's very a learnful experience to go through this book. I wish I could do 20% of what these guys are doing. This guy can go all off grid. They're not dependent on anyone except for the publisher, I think, but it's very learning. This is like a green pharmacy. It means you you find medicinal herbs around your local surroundings. This one is specific for Belgium, so it doesn't work for most for the most countries or continents. So you learn which herbs can be used for which illness, or to treat wounds, or which are things are healthy to stay maintain your health during a crisis. I learned a lot of this. I should be go out more or with this, but time is not in abundance for me. So I would recommend it. Next, U.S. Army Intelligence and Interrogation Handbook. For some reason, I would also put this in your library because you learn how to deal with people when the grid goes down, when crime goes up, when there's more conflict around your neighborhood. You can learn techniques to spot liars, to learn to deal with people who are difficult, to learn who you can trust, how you can get information from them without them you're knowing you're trying to extract information. It's been very handy. It's also been handy on some dates to get information, even though they didn't realize I tried to gather it from them. So it's very handy. I would recommend it. The US Army has a lot of handbooks about all sort of topics: weapons, tactics, uh, techniques, build how to build stuff, or medical, everything. I would certainly look all the books up of the U.S. Army handbooks that are published. Next, yet again, an official U.S. Army manual. This time about combat medics. This book is very thick, like you can see. It's a whole manual about medical procedures. What a military would do when somebody is wounded, stressed, chemical, biological, nuclear threats, how to treat all sort of wounds, breaking bones, um, psychological disorders, anything that can happen in stressful situations, wartime, even in peacetime. It's very useful. You learn about the human body. I would certainly recommend it. It's very advanced, to be honest, so I would first try a regular first aid book before you go to this hard stuff. This is uh, like the cocaine, and the first aid is like weed. This one is very strong. Just a little joke. Uh, Next, This is the Army, Corps, Navy, Air Force, CBRN Decontamination. This is all about chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear decontamination procedures, techniques. This is specific for the military, but as a civilian, I find it very useful to know what would the military do when a nuclear plant goes poof, when there is a chemical or biological attack from a terrorist attack or nuclear war in the worst scenario. So I would, or just some accident with a truck with some chemicals. Just you can learn a lot from it. How to decontaminate, protect yourself, how to help the neighborhood, what the military would do, and you it yeah, just a lot of reading material to think about. And I would say I would talk about 10 books, but fuck it. 10 is just a nice number for the view. So last book is the Belgium Prepper Survival Handbook. It's a book written that I wrote. So if you see it, it's I don't know when it's in the store because of Corona and all that stuff. So it's specific for surviving all sort of scenarios in Belgium. So if you see it, think yeah, give it a thought. I would say uh, that's about it. These are the most important books I would keep first at my library. There are so many books you can buy and read or look information about it, but knowledge is power. So just keep learning. We learn to live. That's about it. So I would say bye. See you in the next video.